Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to the Midweek Takeaway. Today we're joined by Colin Bird, Chairman of Galileo Resources. Welcome, Colin.
Hello there. Welcome to you and nice to talk to you.
So we saw the news today, sort of a double-headed RNS, the Glenover asset sale and the Zinc update. Do you want to talk us through each one of those points?
Yes, we announced before Christmas that we've done the Zinc sale, and it's in several parts. There's this first part, which is the dumps, there's the vermiculite, and then there's the total project. This was exercise phase one, and this has put us around about £2.5 million into the kitty. The money's in the bank before time, and that's obviously well received. And we're confident on both phases of the transaction proceeding. So by the time we finish, I think it's probably worth about £7 million to Galileo, the total deal. But we, don't let's count our chickens before they hatch. We've got a substantial amount of money into the kitty by this announcement, as you see, just as rewarding to our shareholders, if not more. And because that was expected, the Glenover was expected since it was a transactional contract and well documented, and it was a requirement that we be paid that money for the transaction to progress. What is good news for our shareholders, of course, is the first payments have come in for the Zinc, Zinc, and there's a line of payments for over 400,000 coming in as well, and that the Zinc revenue should now be continuous. And there's boats on the ocean, there's material being processed, the ore body has been exposed, and we're preparing the material, and we're doing around about 30% zinc content. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody, zinc has been a very up and down metal over the years, and it's really batting quite well at the moment with a forward prognosis, which is strong. So very, very pleased that now that has started. And our shareholders have been very, very supportive. It's taken longer than they would have wanted. It's taken longer than I would have wanted. So we're all in the same boat there. But now it's going. And of course, that will manifest itself into what we've got up at Cashito. We're going to start drilling there. Major mining company worked there. They postulated it could be up to 50 million tons at 3%. This Willemite sorts itself out. So 3% won't stay 3%. We'll be able to sort it and grade it up to the 25, 30, 35% that we're getting from Zinc. There's demand for it. There's really a lot of demand for this type of material. And so to ship it is, put it into the same system will be no issue. It's really the same rock. The same rock in with the addition that there's some vanadium around as well, of course, up at Cashito, which could be a beneficial byproduct. We're very pleased. This is two sources of, one as a source of income, one is a payment for a disposal with other payments expected. We've got the Lewin Sabi project, which is huge potentially, huge as it might be. The good news of the music to me is the fact that we're already working. We've got Addison in London working on a small oxide open pit where we've got a ready market. And what we need to know is how close to surface the oxides come. So no, it's looking very good. Of course, it was always looking good. Was Galileo Resources always looking good?
Yeah, Colin. Just on that point, you forewent your 1.5% bonus there from Glenover. What made you do that?
Well, I think there's something intrinsically wrong in taking a bonus from a third-party company. If there are any bonuses to be had, there's a remuneration scheme. We've got a remuneration committee. There's a short-term incentive scheme, mid-term and long-term incentive scheme within Galileo. And that should be what looks after me if there is any looking after to be done. But certainly I wasn't comfortable taking any third-party incentive awards for a company that I strongly managed. I was very strong in managing the technicals and managing the sale. But nonetheless, it's quite incorrect, in my view, to take a bonus at sub-company level. Any bonuses or any rewards the domain of Galileo's remuneration committee.
Just give those who don't understand Galileo. Okay, you're going to have a very handsome cash position. I think we just talked off camera, maybe 7-8 million pounds, and revenue coming in. Just give an overview of what else is involved with Galileo.
Well, the main thing I think at the moment is getting Cashito up to steam, so we can do what we're doing at Star, but for our own account. You will recall that we decided, because of the social complexities of Star in Lusaka, that it just was not wise for a foreign company to be working in the middle of a municipality. The same situation is not existent at Cashito. So therefore, this project is 100% ours. We have no joint venture partners. We have a marketing partner in the form of Zopco. So in actual fact, so whatever we are receiving at Star Zinc, what will we be receiving in Cashito when we get the mine underway will be that is what the principal gets. So the income could be significant because the project is bigger. And I'm looking forward to, between Star Zinc and Cashito, to have an elongated period of 3-5 years of zinc production. And I'm also looking, it's early days, but I'm also looking at upgrading the project. So instead of selling minus 10 millimeter pellets, if you like, I'm looking at calcining. I'm looking at other ways of concentrating the Willemites even further, so they ship better and the payability is higher. And then, of course, Luansabi was a real discovery, discovery. It's been discovered by others, but was a real capture, real acquisition in terms of growing the company. So I feel very good at, Ferber. We're getting lots of approaches on Ferber as well. We may drill it ourselves in the next couple of months. We may go into joint venture. So that's pretty positive too. So all in all, it's a very strong little company with good fundamentals to increase its cash flow, and with a big discovery, which can be, part of it can be worked in the short term, and in the long term, we drill, hopefully, a big resource out, which is a standalone significant mine. So again, 12-13 million market cap, an unloved company which is sat there in the desert. Huge potential, Kevin, huge potential.
Well, really, your market cap's only about 5 million then, ultimately, yes? Because you've got cash to illustrate 7 or 8 million of it as it is.
Yeah, and then, and then the rest is blue sky. But I mean, it's not even blue sky, as they were trying to drill a few holes in the ground and with our fingers crossed, biting our fingernails. No, the reality is that earnings coming in, which have to be valued, and actual physical resource in the form of Luansabi. So that, asset being cash and resources is covered off many, many, many times.
Yeah, and the royalty at 3% from the zinc Star situation is likely to be what? And I mean, I did read in the RNS as well that royalty can increase if the price of zinc goes above $10,000. I think.
I can't remember the exact figure, but yeah, it's a basically related royalty. But yes, that can increase. But the big marker in the sand here is the fact that we've got this Cashito, which is 2.5 hours up the road, which is we own ourselves, and we've got a marketing agreement. We can dog it onto this agreement for the same terms, and I'm very, very keen on even further upgrading. So Zinc's the short term, matched by the copper at Luansabi. So it's a Zambian focused company, with tremendous potential. Tremendous potential. A lot of the potential, as you say, the cows are beginning to come home. It's looking good, looking very good.
From the point of view of the copper resource, have you any idea of the sort of scale that we're talking about, just to compare it to some of the other things
speaking resources, you've got anything ranging between 5 and 20 million tons near surface to around about 2.2% copper. But if you then read the archives and everything, the deepest hole is over 1,200 meters, and that was still over 2% copper. If you actually do that simple mechanical process, you're in the 56s and 70 million tons, and that really is a standalone big mine. So we look forward to joining that up. I've got no doubt in my mind we'll have to drill further holes, deeper holes as well to confirm. But what I like about it most of all, Kevin, is we can get into business quickly with the small mine. But secondly, we can build up a big resource.
So basically, you're talking about an open pit and then mining from the bottom of the open pit.
If we were to do it, yeah, we would continue from the open pit. It doesn't dip that steeply. Then that would be a likely approach. X an open pit, put your declines in. But if you start talking 70 million tons, you may want someone or ourselves who puts a footwall shaft in and quite a specific widening facility for the Muffley. You must remember the Muffley main mine processing facilities are less than 15 kilometers away.
So you don't need to build a process.
It's not out in the bush isolated. It could, but if, when you start talking 70 million, it can stand its own facilities. But having said that, nearby are facilities which require feed. So you couldn't really have a better position. And there's stacks of boreholes. There's been a lot of drilling. But nobody, as always, when you've had 3 or 4 generations of drilling, nobody for some reason ever connects them up. And of course, that's the junior's advantage.
One other asset we've not talked about is the Kalahari copper belt, right? It says Galileo has also got some licenses there. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. Well, that's good. We reported that our partners there had made intersections in 2 of the properties. We reported that we've gone into the right rocks. So that is going away nicely. And they've got a commitment to spend, I think it's $4 million over 2 years. Quite a big commitment. And they've built in now. They've got the ball mills in place. They're doing their T3 project. And that's 100 million tons at 0.98. So I'm sure they'll be glad to have the extra feed. And as you know, we've got a deferred consideration table between 0 and 80 million based on content, on contained copper content. So from that respect, that's just work in progress. And I'm just letting that happen, Phil, just letting it happen whilst we get on with the things that we can control.
Yeah, certainly sounds like you've got a lot of iron.
Yeah, I think I'm going to rename you, Colin, to Colin Copperbird.
Yeah, well, that's right. I like copper. Always have. I think my ears pricked up around about 17 when I looked around the world, and I thought, well, this is the metal to be in. Now's the time to get your positions, go out and get them, Colin. And I think you'll notice along the sort of stable of projects we've got, I haven't been shy in that direction.
No, absolutely. I mean, Extract is amazing with a huge project and also cash flow. We've got AFP, which has got 2 majors involved, and another standalone project. You've got Besant, which has got the Keras Minerals, and I forget the name of the other project that you've got, but it's a big one as well. And now Galileo as well, which is completely cashed up, and several copper projects. So yeah, you've done a great job in those 5 years, bringing all these things together, and they're now just starting to come to fruition, I think, is the reality.
That's it. And now this mining business of ours is one hell of a dinosaur. And what people say, well, that's quite a portfolio. How do you manage it? And basically, I watch it like it all, Kevin. And if one of those big rocks look like they are beginning to slow down, I run across to them. I get the shoulder there. I get the team's shoulder there, and we make that rock roll. And the good news about mining is that if you set the track right, if the path is clear to everyone in the group, it's very easy to spot if something is just not there, and to actually, and I've structured the group that we can actually all react to an impending problem. And the magic word there was impending. We try not to let them happen. We try to nip them in the bud. And that's the way our company works. That I've got tremendous skills. We've got tremendous skills in the group. And because every company doesn't need 100% effort at the same time, you're able to basically put your team strengths where they're needed at that time. Makes for a busy life for everybody, but also makes for a very enjoyable life. And hopefully everyone involved will see some success. And I think the fundamentals beyond our control are working for us.
Yeah, and we look forward to coming down to the south of Africa, and you showing us a few of those things later in the year. That'll be great fun.
Then that'll be our pleasure, of course, as always.
Colin Bird, Executive Chairman of Galileo Resources, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.